the American League hit leaders, all right? Right now, Jose Abreu is the leader in the clubhouse with 148 hits. But who is tied with friend of the program, Nathaniel Lowe? Do any of you guys have a guess? So sandwiched between Nathaniel Lowe and Minnesota's Luis Arraez.
Altuve?
It's a good guess, but that is incorrect. That is also a good guess. And Bo, you are very, very close. The answer is Ahmed Rosario. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. I was talking with a Guardian friend of mine, a fan.
Cardiac kid?
Yeah, he loves the Guardians. And I asked him, was the Francisco Lindor trade a win-win for both teams?
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, the Guardians got a lot of production.
They solidified the middle of the diamond for a fraction of the cost, and the Mets, they got the superstar that they coveted.
Yeah.
Both teams won.
Man, so look at what Ahmed Rosario has done for the Guardians. All right, our next category, National League on-base leaders this season.
Is the silhouette the player, or is that just a silhouette? So I stopped trying to figure out who it is.
It's just a silhouette.
Okay.
It's just a silhouette. So your leader is Paul Goldschmidt, who's sandwiched between Freddie Freeman and Josh Bell. 377 on-base percentage.
Wow.
For this particular player.
I knew Jeff McNeil was up there. Brandon Nimmo's not up there.
He gets hit by a lot of pitches. And you mentioned Jeff McNeil, same team.
Starling Marte.
No. Another outfielder.
Canna?
Yes.
Mark Canna.
Mark Canna. You know, I think this was one of the differences from this Met team as opposed to years previous. Ball players, professional hitters, and he fits that.
He fits that mold. And he hasn't had the season he would have, up to his standards.
Yeah.
Especially power-wise, but you added him and Marte. You keep it going.
Tough outs. Tough outs.
That's the
outs
thing,
that
though.
line.
Tough outs, and Mark Canna certainly fits that bill. All right, our next category, National League batting average leaders. I know some of you feel a certain way about batting average, but I think it still matters. Paul Goldschmidt,
Oh, it does
335.
matter. Batting average matters late in the game.
That's true.
Okay? Because who do you want to face? Outhouse
hitting
or Castle?
220
or this
dude
guy?
hitting 336,
He's hitting
335.
306, Bo.
Who's right
Come
behind
on.
Nolan
Look
Arenado
at Jeff
here?
McNeil having a big year.
Who's behind Nolan Arenado?
Give me an idea. Can I have an idea?
Yeah, go ahead. He plays for a franchise that has a lot of batting titles.
What?
He plays for a franchise that is known for offense. Plays shortstop. Gandalito. Jose Iglesias, guys.
Oh, S-Rod, I was just talking about him last night on our call. I'm like, do you realize Jose Iglesias is in 306?
Come a long way offensively. Start to look at just the productivity and his ability to use the whole field.
Yeah, look at that. Look at what he's done. 32 extra base hits, an OPS of 743.
Why didn't someone trade for this guy at the deadline?
That's a good question, Bo. Good question.
That is a good question.
Let's talk pitching now. National League strikeout leaders.
We're not doing it.
Your leader, Corbin Burns. Right behind him, Carlos Rodon. Who's third? Right ahead of Charlie Morton with 185.
Aaron Nola.
Aaron Nola, you are correct.
He was leading the entire sport for a while there, early.
Boy,
Come on, Philly, find a way.
If Zach Wheeler is right, in a short series especially, that's a devastating combo, D-Row. Wheeler and this guy.
What, are they slated to play the Braves as of right now?
Yeah. Well, they got to have Zach Wheeler. And they got to have this guy right, and he's been right.
They're going to need him to be right. They're also going to need that bullpen
Yeah.
to continue to have the success in which they've had since they've played much better. And defensively, they're picking up the ball a little better.
Tony Gonsolin and Justin Verlander are tied for the most wins among pitchers in Major League Baseball. Who's ahead of another Dodger, Julio Urias, tied with 16? So it's Gonsolin, Verlander, and this player.
16 wins?
Mm-hmm. We talked about him last week.
It's not Tyler Anderson?
No, it's not.
What's the clue?
He pitched at Vanderbilt. He pitches for the defending champions.
Kyle Wright.
Kyle Wright.
That's
Kyle Wright.
Isn't that something?
He hasn't been talked about at all.
Absolutely not at all.
We did him early April, I remember. He kind of changed his arsenal a little bit.
And Bo, it's often said about him, he's a perfect example of not every prospect hits right away. Sometimes they need time.
I tell you, I set on him during the draft because I was in the Braves front office the year that we drafted him. And it's a wipeout slider. For me, when he arrived at the big leagues, he had to get to the point where he had confidence with his stuff to the inner third of the plate, which has really helped his slider. You see now he's using the top of the strike zone with his fastball. He's having a great season.
You signed off on drafting him?
Yes,
Fifth
I did.
overall?
Yes, I did. And I think you need to sign off on making a call. Get him on Team USA.
Hey, Alex.
Hey, help a brother out. All right, now, National League ER leaders. Your leader, Tony Gonsolin, Sandy Alcantara, those two battling for a National League Cy Young. But who's right ahead of Tyler Anderson with an ERA of 2.66? We've been talking about this team quite a bit here recently. And when I say recently, I mean like in the last 15 minutes.
Is he a snake?
Yes, he is.
Yeah. Zach Gallen.
Zach Gallen is correct. Yeah, I mean, like I said earlier, I like
filthy stuff.
They've got some very interesting pieces, and look, they play in a loaded division, obviously. So you can't, if you're not right, you're going to get your brains beat in.
Yeah, you have to build a foundation of homegrown players that understand and play together. You're not going to throw it against the wall and beat the Dodgers. It's not happening.
Yeah.
But San Diego is trying.
Right.
We'll see how it ends up.
Yeah. No, but I like the potential for a young, dynamic core there in Arizona, as evidenced last night by the largest comeback win in franchise history.